Episode 8 of When the Phone Rings starts with Sion unpacking a few things and coming across an old photo of him and Hee-Ju when they were young. We circle back to where we left off with Sion forgiving and confessing his love for her. Of course, we all remember that earth-shattering kiss they shared after the confession. The following morning, Sion makes breakfast for Hee-Ju. They start talking more openly and realize they have been hiding their sincere feelings for too long. Sion admits that he liked coming home to her. He confesses he was harsh with her before because he was scared to open his heart to her. Hee-Ju admits that she felt stifled in the house and wanted them to do casual stuff normal couples do. As she eats, she shows Sion the last message she received from the kidnapper. After breakfast, Hee-Ju gives Sion the black phone and says he is sad that there won't be any more calls. He doesn't plan to give the phone to the police. He believes the phone brought them closer. He teases Hee-Ju for being fierce under her alter ego and brings up her lingerie picture. They end up hugging, and Hee-Ju wonders if it is a dream. Elsewhere, the kidnapper gets a message from his accomplice, asking if he got the phone back. The guy texts back and explains he didn't. When he went to the hospital, the security was too high. He tried to sneak in, pretending to be delivering wreaths after Sion arrived. However, he could only get a whiff of Sion's scent in the elevator. Somehow, the fact that Sion smelled good ticked him off. He promises his accomplice that he will take everything from Sion. The next day, Hee-Ju has a bad dream that Sion left her. She wakes up and goes to check for him in his room. She finds him soundly sleeping and caresses his cheeks. This wakes Sion, and he pulls her onto his bed. He informs her that he has taken the day off, and Hee-Ju says she wants them to do something. She started fantasizing about being a normal couple in love after Sion showed up in an entourage to rescue her. However, Sion confesses he has loved her longer than she thinks. As they talk, Sion gets a call from Young-woo, imploring him to come to the office. Once he gets to the office, he finds out that Young-woo planned a surprise intervention to encourage him. Do-jae arrives a little later and informs Sion that he has finally tracked down the kidnapper's location. According to the data, the kidnapper is in Haejong, Gyeonggi-do. Do-jae asks if Sion is familiar with the location, but his boss takes off. He orders Do-jae to stay behind and not to involve the police. On his way, reporter Hyuk-jin calls to check on Sion. He grows worried when Sion says he is on his way to meet with the kidnapper. After Sion leaves, Yeon-woo drops by to inform Hee-Ju that Ina is back. She wants Hee-Ju to be wary of Ina, but Hee-Ju gets a message from the kidnapper asking if she knows the real Sion. The kidnapper sends her a clip from one of the Korean variety shows, Live Alone. In the meantime, Sang-woo visits the orphanage again. The sister brings up Sang-woo's first love, Hee-Ju. She is curious about how Hee-Ju is doing and whether Yuri is Sang-woo's current girlfriend. The conversation leads Sang-woo to text Hee-Ju and check up on her. She decides to drop by the orphanage to ask him about the missing orphanage children's case. On the other side of town, Yoo Ah-young and Kyu-jin decide to move forward with their TV interview. However, it seems Yoo Ah-young is worried about something and gives his assistant secret orders. When he shows up for an event the next time, the media hounds him about his statement. They are curious why his statement differs from the one Sion made. Yoo Ah-young claims that Sion was trying to protect him and avoid a political issue. As they talk, someone delivers wreaths, claiming to know what Sion did. Later, Tu-hyung warns Yoo Ah-young to get his act together. Yoo Ah-young brings up Ina and says Tu-hyung owes him. Back in Haejong, Gyeonggi-do, Sion arrives at the old mansion and finds a video waiting for him. It is the same video the kidnapper sent Hee-Ju. The kidnapper accuses Sion of being a murderer and promises to make him pay. Sang-woo arrives to show Hee-Ju the house's location. He promises to bring her back the next day, since it is too late to explore the house. Sang-woo asks why Hee-Ju and Sion are so curious about the case. As they drive off, Sion sees them and goes into a jealous rage. He follows them out and calls Hee-Ju. It is at this point that Sang-woo reveals that he knows Hee-ju can speak. Sion manages to cut them off and demands that Hee-ju follow him. Sang-woo tries to stop Hee-ju, but she willingly gets into Sion's car. Before leaving, Sion tells Sang-woo that he is suspicious of him. He believes that Sang-woo knows the culprit or is working with him. Either way, he warns Sang-woo to stay away from Hee-ju. On the drive back, Sion pulls over to find out why Hee-ju was at the house with Sang-woo. She shows him the message and video she received from the kidnapper. Sion misunderstands and thinks Hee-ju investigated the tip from the kidnapper because she fears his past. However, Hee-ju explains that she has been there before. She knows how scary it can be to live with a secret. She admits she is scared and anxious because she is worried she might lose Sion. All her life, no one has loved and accepted her like Sion. She worries that she is undeserving of such happiness, which is why she has been having nightmares recently. Sion embraces her and asks how he can prove he will always be there for her. She asks Sion to reveal his secret, and he worries she will abandon him. Still, he assures her that even if he gave up his name and title, he would never give up the part of him that belongs to her. At Tu Hyung's house, Yeon-hui overhears Ina's conversation with her dad. It turns out that Tu Hyung knew the truth about Sion and sent Ina the DNA test, proving that Sion is not a fake a few days before the wedding. Ina is now curious about the deal Tu Hyung made with the Pakes. In a flashback, we learn that Paek Hyung made a deal with Tu Hyung to have his family do whatever he asks for. It seems like the real Paek Sion was involved in the accident that killed Tu Hyung's son and left Ina deaf. Tu Hyung asks Ina to stop worrying about the past and worry about the fact that Sion's kidnapper knows the truth about the wedding and Hee-ju's marriage. Meanwhile, Ui Hyung and Kyung Jin have their interview with Yuri as the host. They try to portray themselves as a loving couple. Kyung Jin asks to address her son, who has been hurt by the threats on his life. In her message, she asks Sion to remember her promise to him that she will always protect him. In a flashback, we see that she said these words to her real son whenever she locked him up in the basement. She always told him that it was for his own good. After recovering, Hee-ju returns to work, and the staff warmly welcomes her back. In the elevator, she also gets a chance to subtly flirt with Sion. She is moved by how quickly he is learning sign language. She also takes her former colleagues for lunch, and they all marvel at how Hee-ju is glowing. Simultaneously, Sion continues with his duties. However, the media continues to focus on his personal life. In the end, Sion shows them the last video the kidnapper sent him. He promises that the journalist who figures out the kidnapper's motive and message from the video will get an exclusive interview. Sion's move frustrates Youngwoo. The office gets a call from the mysterious old man who figured out the kidnapper's real identity in the previous episode. The old man leaves a message, warning Sion that someone is still alive. The scene also cuts to Sang-woo driving. It seems he is tailing another car. Once Sion returns to the office, Youngwoo gives him the message from the old man. He also explains that he traced the call to a fishing shop. The name of the shop triggers Sion's memory. Through a flashback, we learn that Sion knew the owner of the shop when he was young. From the memories, it seems he lived with the old man and witnessed Paek Hyung trying to drown the real Sion. After that, the Paeks took Sion in. Simultaneously, the kidnapper returns to the fishing shop and attacks the old man. Sion leaves to meet the guy, while Hee-ju unknowingly stays behind at the office. While she looks at the pictures from the retreat uploaded on their official site, she realizes that Sion was fondly looking at her in all the photos. This moves her. She later gets home and texts Sion, wondering if he will be late. Ina drops by and reveals Sion's secret that he is not a Paek. However, Hee-ju says it doesn't matter. She already realized the truth when Sion talked about giving up his name and title. The episode ends with Sion arriving at the fish shop and finding it on fire. He tries to rescue the old man, but the fire grows strong, and Sion faints before he can complete his rescue mission. Sion and Heju have finally broken the walls between them. They are now communicating their fears, expressing their love, and trying not to keep secrets from each other. It is not easy, but what matters is that they are putting in the work. Of course, the hungry wolves and enemies of progress are still at their throats, but Sion and Heju are putting up a united front. Ina expected Heju to lose it when she learned the truth, but the latter didn't. She has made up her mind to accept Sion, whoever he might be. Sion is innocent and is suffering because the real Paik Sion killed someone. He might have been involved in the tragic death of Il Hyung's child. It is highly possible that Sang-woo was following Sion and might be the one who rescued him from the fire. A lot of things happened in this episode, but we are no closer to solving the mystery. We can assume that the real Sion is alive and might be working with the kidnapper to hurt Sion. If the real Seo is alive, Kyung-jin might have been the one who saved him. It was clear that she was sending her real son a message through the interview that she would protect him. We only have 4 episodes to go. It will be interesting to see how this show will end. Will they be able to tie up all the plot threads neatly?